Getting some batteries on charge this morning.
Call it sludge?
Yeah, you did.
Sludge.
Hey, we'll have to do a little skit on that. Sledgehammer. We call it a sludge hammer. And any of our family and friends that, you know what I'm talking about, sludge hammer. And electricity. We brought the generator for some electricity.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get some corking to fill some of these gaps. Not caulking, but corking.
And rebarb. Instead of rebars. Rebarb. Anyway, a few more poles to set, and then we're gonna get on working to cut these poles off and get the band on.
I'm glad all these poles out. These things are out. Wrong side. Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's September. I'm sorry, end of August here in the Western North Carolina. The mornings are cooling off a little bit, but by 9:15, she still gets a little warmed up. And I'm going to get my bandana on my head. Cody here's getting out the transit behind me. We got all the poles set now, and we're going to set up the transit and get us a line to measure the poles to exact measurement on every one of them, so at the top of the poles are completely flat. Now, we still got to go back and screw more of the screws into the plates here, but they're not in yet. They're supposed to be in today, so we'll screw them in tomorrow. Of course, it won't stop us today. The bottom of the poles ain't going nowhere, but it'll keep us going today with the screws that we have in there now. Normally, Cody does this job with shooting the transit, so that's his domain.
What do you say?
That's your domain, shooting the transit.
I'm transit guy?
Transit guy.
Transit guy. Transit guy.
I'm a deal searcher on Marketplace, Craigslist. Well, Craigslist is the kind of thing of the past. But this transit behind me, that is the commercial grade transit. I'm not bragging or anything. I guess I kind of am on the deal I found. That transit right there is about a $1,300 transit. It's a Bosch. And I needed one because, you know, I was doing this stuff a couple years ago, and I needed one. I've been borrowing my uncle's, and to me, if I borrow it twice, I need to buy it. That's kind of our me and Cody's motto, if we're able to. And I got looking on Marketplace for a transit, and I found one about an hour from me, $200. And I thought, that's got to be a hoax. That's got to be a hoax. Well, it wasn't. And so I got a $1,300 transit. The guy said that he bought it. He's only had it about a year. He had back trouble, and he was selling it. So I went and got this transit for $200, and that is honestly probably my best equipment that I'm most proud of that I've got on a deal is this transit.
Yes.
Yeah, 49.7 1/2. So we squared up the building before we even dug holes with the strings and our batter boards, and we was about a 3/16 out, and I knew it might would get a little bit worse with putting the brackets down, because when you bore the holes and you put the brackets on them bolts, sometimes it likes to walk on you. But right now, we're about a 1/4 inch out in squareness of this 30 by 40 building. I don't think that's gonna hurt us. We're gonna call it good and continue.
On the back of the truck here, we keep a Yeti iced down with some Dasanis. I try to drink water. I don't think Matthew drinks water at all. I think he just drinks soft drinks.
Yeah.
The kid's got an addiction. I mean, hey, I can't say nothing. I dip Copenhagen like it's going out of style. But I try to get the water intake. My wife drinks like a gallon and a half a day of water, and she's really inspired me to do more water. She even bought me a Stanley, the big cut, big old jug. She bought me one. It's manly color. It's blue. But I try to keep it full of water at home. I try to sip on it. But clearly, as you can tell, I drink a lot of water. I'm pretty fit. But hey.
Cody's going to grab the band material or the headers, and the plans on the kit came with 2x10s, and on the pole, one goes on one side and the other one goes on the other side. So basically the band sandwiches the pole, and on the plans it doesn't call for notching the post. It just says secure board to the outside of the poles. But I do believe we are going to notch the poles, so that way them 2x10s, the headers, will sit on the inside of the post. We're set flush with them, have it notched, and it looks better, and to me I think that's more secure. Now it does take a little more time, but I feel better about that, and it looks better on our part if we do it that way. So the headers on this pole barn kit, and I think I probably mentioned it before, but they're 2x10s, and our sections here from pole to pole is 10 foot on center. And the rule of thumb that we always go by as far as the load chart is 10 foot wide post span, 2x10 board. So in other words, every foot you span on your poles, you need to be exact at the same inch of your board. If your poles are 8 feet apart, we can go 2x8, and that's kind of the rule of thumb we use. Of course, we never go any more than 10, because by code, if you go any more than I think 11 feet, you got to have a laminated beam, and that's something I'm not crazy about getting into, because you're just getting into money. So we keep them around 10 or less, if possible. So what we done is we measured from the top of these plates right here, measured up 12 feet, okay? We put a mark right there. Then we went to our mark that we made with our transit, which is right here, right here. And we got the mark from the transit mark to the mark we put up that was 12 feet from the bottom top of the purlins, and that's the number we went from, which in this case it was 90 inches. So now we're going 90 inches from every transit mark, and that keeps the top of the poles level with all the rest of them. That side over there is done. It takes a little longer to notch them poles like we're doing for the band, but it looks good at the end. And these headers are sitting on that notch, on that lip that we made, and we timber locked them into the post. Now we're doing this side. Whew, there's the band, guys. Goodness. It's a lot of work, but she's up there. Do a little bracing in the morning, we're ready for trusses.